ladies and gentlemen, there are reports out that says Putin is actually winning this economic war. And you know what, y'all? There's a new rumor talking about Putin is dead. Now, it's funny when y'all were faking it in the news here in the US saying that Ukraine was winning, we didn't hear no talk about Putin being dead. Now, once the news went out that Putin got Mariupol and he's getting Donbass, now all of a sudden he's dead. Okay, we know what you're doing, America. You're not fooling nobody. I mean, come on, you done lied all this time, but all of a sudden we're gonna believe something that you said. You've been lying. What, the war's been going on for 99 days? And y'all been lying for all 99 days, but all of a sudden we're going to believe you on Putin being dead. Okay. You can miss us all. So, anyway, Russia is winning the economic war, and Putin, they said, is nowhere near even considering pulling the troops out of Ukraine. Well, Moscow said a few weeks ago that this was going to be a long one. So, as of tomorrow, June 3rd, it is 100 days. 100 days this has been going on, and there's no end in sight. It's now 3 months since the West launched its economic war against Russia, and it is not going according to plan. On the contrary, things are going very badly indeed. The sanctions were imposed on Vladimir Putin not because they were considered the best option, but because they were the better option than the other two available courses of action: doing nothing or getting involved militarily. The first set of economic measures were introduced immediately after the invasion, when it was assumed Ukraine would, this whole thing would be over in a few days. Remember, people were all over video. "Oh, this will be over soon. Oh, it'll probably be over in a week. It'll be over in a week." I can still hear those. I can still hear them people saying that mess. "It'll be over in a week." But it didn't happen. With the result, the sanctions, while still incomplete, have gradually been intensified. There is, though, no immediate sign of Russia pulling out of Ukraine. And that's hardly surprising because the sanctions have had a perverse effect of driving up the cost of Russia's oil and gas exports, massively boosting its trade balance and financing its war effort. In the first 4 months of 2022, Putin could boast a current account surplus of $96 billion. Wow. So they said that was more than what he had in 2021. He had a surplus of $76 billion. When the EU announced its partial ban on Russian oil exports earlier this week, the cost of crude oil on the global markets rose just from that one announcement from Europe, providing the Kremlin with another financial windfall. Russia is finding no difficulty finding alternative markets for its energy, with exports of oil and gas to China in April up more than 50% year on year. That's not to say that the sanctions are pain free for Russia. The International Monetary Fund estimates the economy shrank by 8.5% this year as imports from the West collapse. Russia has stockpiles of goods, essentials to keep its economy going, but over time, they will be used up. But Europe is only gradually weaning itself off of its dependency on Russian energy. And so an immediate financial crisis for Putin has been averted. I know they don't want to hear that. The Kremlin has time to find alternative sources to spare parts and components from countries willing to circumvent Western sanctions. When the global movers and shakers met in Davos last week, the public message was condemnation of Russian aggression and renewed commitment to stand solidly behind Ukraine. But privately, there was concern about the economic cost of a prolonged war. Now, that's what they're all over YouTube saying. Oh, Putin can't hang in there long. How do you know? You don't live in Russia. You don't know nothing about it. Just running your mouth. Well, Russia sure say they're going to be in there for the long haul. You don't know what them people got. Like they're going to tell you. These concerns are entirely justified. Russia's invasion of Ukraine has given an added boost to already strong price measures. UK annual inflation rate stands at 9%, its highest in 40 years, and we know inflation is extra high here in the US. And you know what the funny part is? If countries turned around and sanctioned the US with the inflation and the shortages going on, this place really would collapse. It really would. Barely hanging on by a thread now. As a result of the war, Western economies face a period of slow or negative growth and rising inflation. A return of, they're saying that the last time it was like this was in the 1970s, including the Bank of England. They feel they have to respond to near double digit inflation by raising, they're doing the same thing the US is doing, raising the interest rates. Unemployment is set to rise. Other European countries face the same problems, if not more, since most of them are more dependent on Russian gas than the UK. The problems facing the world's poorer countries are of a different order of magnitude. For some of them, the issue is starvation as a result of wheat supplies from Ukraine, Black Sea ports being blocked. Yeah, well, that's why they're saying it's going to be a lot more famine in the world this year. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, right now it's saying that Putin is hanging on pretty well right now. And I think, with that Putin is dead, these folks are just butt sore that this war is not turning out the way they wanted to see it, you know? And me, I don't care about that. I care about getting true information, not biased information like the US have been sitting around doing for the last 99 days of this war. That is of no use or of any help to no one. And I don't see how that actually even helps Ukraine by putting that kind of propaganda out. Who are you really helping? And you look like fools now. You've been on the horn propping up the war in favor of Ukraine, and then come to find out, what the story I did yesterday, they admitted to losing 100 soldiers per day. Actually, that came from Zelensky. And he's the one that wants those long range missiles. So, and to be honest with you, I believe those missiles are never going to make it there. Russia is going to be on the lookout for that military aid flying over there, and they're going to intercept it just like they did all of the other stuff. But y'all, please tell me what you think. I know they're going to be butt sore over this because they want to just hear all bad things about Putin. You know, these folks are very unrealistic and very biased, and they should want real information and not fake stuff. But ultimately, I stand firm on what I said to you before. The US before everything is said and done, you're going to physically be involved in this war, whether you like it or not. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.